What's going on, guys? Tobin here with you. Thanks for checking us on out. And man, look, I've been trying to get to this like all day. Let me tell you about it. So, Chris Greer, he went out there and he said, "Them picks." That's what he said. We've seen like the meme has come to life, and Chris Greer is letting you know the picks, they can go to holy hell. I'm going all in. And I've been wanting to talk about this all day because this happened like right as we got off the air, Tobin and Leroy. And then I had some things to help out with family. So I really couldn't get a video in before I had to go to the Heat game. I'm like, I'll do a video at the Heat game. And like, I just couldn't find any place because I couldn't get into the lower bowl. They were doing a walkthrough. There was no real room I could go over to do a video about it. And there was and then outside, it was like 100 degrees outside. Music was blaring everywhere. I just couldn't find a spot. And then the game started and, the day got away. But it's almost great because it's like everybody got their instant reaction, kind of got to marinate over it. And the Dolphins trading for Bradley Chubb and giving up a first-round pick and essentially 2 years in a row are just not going to have first-round picks, which I'm cool with. I think for a couple of reasons. One, they went in the direction of hauling the draft picks, squirreling them away, and getting everybody they wanted to get. They had a monster home run draft the year before with Jalen Waddle and Javon Holland. It seems like Tua Tagovailoa is rounding into the franchise quarterback everybody was hoping he would turn into, and now everybody is starting to get, trying to buy tickets onto that bandwagon. Let me tell you something right now. If you're scalping tickets to the Tua bandwagon, I hope you're hiking that price up real high for these rats. I just want you to know. But I think the thing that I am most pleased with is I thought it was balls, dude. Because, look, it's one thing for the Buffalo Bills to go out there and, they're going to get Alvin Kamara and they're going to go in and they're going to go all in. They have been there. They went toe-to-toe with the Chiefs last year. Everybody knows they're good. Everybody knows they're not far off from being a Super Bowl team. I think it takes I don't think it's a great leap of faith for them to sell all. Kind of like the Rams last year when the Rams are going and making moves and they're going all in. I don't think that takes a great leap of faith. They've recently been a Super Bowl team. Good. You should go on. You trade for Matt Stafford. That's what you should do. Chiefs, same thing. But for the Dolphins, they are kind of in this like, hey, we haven't won a playoff game in 22 years. And we think we're really good. We have, our starting quarterback, when he starts and finishes the game, we're undefeated. We've beaten the Bills to the point where they're complaining about the sun. We made them, crank up the excuse machine. And we seem like we have the most unstoppable duo in Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. All of that is going according to plan. The only thing that really hasn't and probably hasn't lived up to expectations is the pass rush of this team. Certainly the secondary hasn't, but that's more health than performance. I think with Agba, though he's missed, a game because of health, really hasn't, set the world on fire. And they really haven't been able to cause havoc on the quarterback. So you have a team in Denver who is wildly disappointing, and this player in Bradley Chubb who's out there who is uber talented. And Chris Greer takes a home run cut, and I respect it, man. I respect the fact that this Dolphins GM is rolling the dice on his build. He took plenty of criticism with, first of all the people saying that he should have taken Justin Herbert over Tua. That band is now all of a sudden starting to come around. The other people who are saying that, he basically was asleep at the wheel the entire offseason until he got Teron Armstead and Tyreek Hill. And, I think the guy deserves, after, having, seemingly a tumultuous relationship at the end with Brian Flores, he now has got a more harmonious thing going on with Mike McDaniel. If the thing that really needs to be shored up, surprisingly, as a piece of this defense, and one of the most valuable things in this league is getting pressure on the quarterback, especially with not having to do all the wacky, schemes and all the things, all the bag of tricks that Josh Boyer has to throw out there to make it happen. I think you got to do it. And I love the fact that he is putting his grapefruits on the table. We talk about the wheelbarrow all the time between Mike McDaniel, all the times he's going for it with this team and the big shots they take downfield. This is Chris Greer is putting his grapefruits on the table and says, I believe in the team that I built. I believe in all the star power that we put out there. We have done the thing where we have gone after draft picks and try to get the right franchise pieces. I'm taking my home run cuts now. And anybody who thinks that we can't hang with the Bills, we've already beaten them. Let's get to this. Let's get through this season. We got a soft part of the schedule right now. Let's weave this all in together and round it out for what's going to be a hell of a final quarter of the season. I love it, dude. It is Goosey's galore. It is sensational to see the Dolphins be out here, be interesting, be ballsy. I feel like the move has been praised all over the place. A lot of people are riding the Dolphins bandwagon right now. A lot of people think that they are the sneaky, dangerous team because everybody's going to be looking for that team amongst the Chiefs and the Bills. That's everybody's favorite. It's obvious you're not being original. So who's everybody trying to hop onto? Everybody, almost to an uncomfortability where everybody's trying to hop onto the Dolphins bandwagon. But I really do think that for them, they deserve this. Honestly, look. For a town that praises Pat Riley all the time, and he deserves it because he is the Godfather, and he has won and brought a lot of championships here, and in ways has taken, this town. I don't think it's ever taken over as a basketball town to a football town. That's always a fun debate, but he certainly has said like, hey, in a city that used to only care about one thing, there's a generation of fans that grew up at least caring about both, and the one thing that's been interesting seeing is that like the Heat are always kind of in the mix of names and, they're always floating around rumors, but they really, since getting Jimmy, they got Kyle Lowry, but since getting Jimmy really haven't gotten the Orca. And Chris Greer's out here just orking all over the place, dude. He's got his harpoon sharpened with first round draft pick tips, and he is nailing the Orcas right there like he's Captain Ahab, dude. Like he is just Orca after Orca after Orca. He's out here whale calling. Captain Greer, dude, you got to give it up. Whatever he's got, a peg leg or an eye patch, whatever the hell he's got going on there, his aim is pristine, and he's got this thing going on. On the side of this metaphor, though, is it a proper thing to say that they should be whaling when the logo is a dolphin? Is that killing family? That's another story for another day, ladies and gentlemen. The point is, Bradley Chubb is now on the Miami Dolphins. They also go and get Jeff Wilson Jr. Chase Edmonds is no longer a Miami Dolphin. Whiffed on that one. Thought it was going to work out. Did not. Acknowledge the mistake. They move on, and they go and basically go get some McCoachin, team McCoachin, which we have seen. Look, the guys that he has handpicked are the guys who have been with Sherfield, Mostert, Alec Ingold, all these guys who are McCoachin picks for his system. He relies on them. And going and getting Jeff Wilson, who's averaging like oodles of yards per carry, another fast guy, now expendable for the 49ers because they got Christian McCaffrey. Yeah, it doesn't have maybe the splash of getting a Kareem Hunt because, you know the name and the fantasy credibility and all that type of stuff. But I was wondering with that, Mike McDaniel is a big running game guy. Like, I think that you do want guys who know your system. It is running back, so it's not like you're working in, guys who have to know the whole offense. Like, they can fit in a little bit easier. But I think that we've seen with Mike McDaniel. I don't think he wants to spend time having guys learn the system. I think if he sees there's a guy who's capable that he trusts, which he does with Wilson, and, seeing some of the quotes I saw, this thing where he basically is like, he's just got that undrafted mentality that he just carries with him everywhere, which is another Heat parallel. Like, everybody seems to love with the Heat when they have these guys from, that everybody overlooked. He seems to be one of these guys. So just huge, man. And I think that, people are going to go and they say, well, this is proof that the Dolphins are all in on Tua. This is a proof that they're all in on a team. I just think, look, I love the fact that Chris Greer is betting on himself. I think that is the thing that's great about this, is that the guy has done the slow roll. He has done this from the Laramie Tunsil trade all the way to the trade with the 49ers where people are like, what are we doing? What's going on here? And now look what he has gotten out of it. Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, Bradley Chubb for what people were like freaking out about because they didn't get Kyle Pitts. Pretty crazy. And you got to respect the home run cut from Chris Greer getting this done. It'll be interesting to hear what he has to say coming up on Tuesday about on Wednesday about all this. But really, man, just a cool day for Dolphin fans. I think that everybody is buzzing about this team right now. I think everybody's having fun watching them on Sundays. And between, people starting to come around and realizing that, Tua maybe has the goods to be a franchise guy, between the energy that Tyreek Hill has brought to this team, between every penguin dance that you get to do when Jalen Waddle scores a touchdown, or every time Mike Gesicki embarrasses you with a gritty, this team really seems to be capturing the imagination of the football fan down here. And it's a fun thing to see. They deserve it. I think that there's been a lot of hard times down here, and there's been a lot of embarrassing scandals this year included, with the owner getting suspended. And I think that people down here, the diehard Dolphin fan, deserves a year where they just get to enjoy football wins, entertaining wins, and now a faith that their franchise is competent and also taking big-ass swings to go beat the Buffalo Bills and beat the Kansas City Chiefs when they get to the playoffs. It's an awesome thing to see.